Is XRP the biggest loser in all of crypto? You're gonna have to hear some of the feedback from some people in the Chainlink community, some people in the XRP community. We'll talk about why people are saying this, then well, is it true? CZ with another very interesting post. What is he trying to tell us? We have that. We got MATIC joining us to break down the charts. We're going to take a look at a Bitcoin chart, take a look at an XRP chart. We'll take a look at an Avalanche chart. As you guys know, yesterday, Rob wanted me to put in a Avalanche long. I said, not up in here. Not up in here. We went short. Well, you'll see the results of that trade. We're also going to talk about potentially the two new sectors emerging for a big move to the upside. We'll reveal what those two could potentially be. And Virtual's protocol makes a new upgrade to their website. Could this be a game changer for Virtuals in the ecosystem? We'll talk about that. Gina, roll the intro, roll the intro.
Hola! Is your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content. We take that old, boring, stale information, repackage it all up in a fun and super sexy kind of way. Well, we are back in altcoin discussions. A lot of volatility. Zcash is up another 9%, David.
I fucking swear to God, dude.
Zcash is up another 9%.
Enough with the Zcash. No.
Just saying, man.
No one cares about Zcash.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that it's
you, the
pivotal,
viewer. If you're watching and
pivotal.
you're excited about Zcash, put a 1 in the chat. Let's see how many ones we get. Probably 1.
It's not about being excited about a certain project.
Yeah.
It's about making money on a certain project.
Wow.
Okay.
No wonder our retention.
If I said, hey,
because you opened the show with garbage.
No. If I told you, hey, you could take this rock and pay $5 for the rock, but you could turn around and sell it for $10 next week, and I got a guaranteed sale. You're gonna double up your money. It's a good investment. Doesn't matter if you believe in the product or not.
Thank you. This is a waste of time, said Yanni Martin. Thank you. This is a waste of time. Let's talk about our friend Changpeng Zhao. Why are you laughing? It's his name, Changpeng Zhao. CZ, Binance. Thank you. CZ posted this, Rob. Not predicting the future, and don't get too excited. A September in a past, my first crypto cycle, just data. Okay, nice try, CZ. Well, what does he have highlighted? Well, here's a chart in all its glory. He's got from May of 2015 to the cycle top in December of 2017. And he's highlighting October 4th, he's highlighting the end of September where we saw a dip and then a massive rally. And so people are seeing this. They're saying, CZ's telling us a big altcoin rally's coming. Is he talking about just Aster? Is he talking about all of altcoins? It's interesting. A lot of people accuse CZ of having mass influence over price action in the markets. Rob, CZ is usually not wrong. Some call him Nostradamus. Some call him Changstradamus because Changpeng Zhao is named Chang. It's not anything other than that. What are your thoughts on what our friend CZ here is saying and what he posted very cryptically? A lot of people are also hovering over saying, oh, October 4th at 4 p.m. is when he hovered over, left it there. Aster, 4 S-T-E-R. That's not me. It's what people are saying.
That's actually 4 a.m.
Yeah, I know, but AM, PM doesn't matter. Rob,
So
bull market confirmed?
What does Aster have to do with this?
Well, Aster, you can replace the number A with, or the letter A with the number 4. You're too old. So anyway, some people, when they write, they replace A with 4. Yeah. Like that guy who got caught, David D4VD. Anyways, Rob, CZ, you buying it? What are your thoughts here, man?
What am I supposed to buy?
What do you mean, dude? He's
the guy-
cryptically telling us a massive bull run is coming, bro.
Wow, there's a price prediction on the horizon, and it's a cryptic price prediction. Holy crap.
Okay.
Wow.
You don't want to talk about CZ?
Wow.
Fine. You don't want to talk about CZ? Fine. Part of me, okay, so
why do you get excited about CZ saying the bull market's about to pop up?
I'm obviously over-exaggerating. People are getting excited. I thought you would get the joke, but I guess not. After 4 years of doing the show together, you still
I didn't even know it was a
cute.
joke.
The post is not a joke, but the overexcitement was a joke.
Oh, so you're not
How did you not
overexcited?
catch that? No, I'm not overexcited about a post.
So what is supposed to be my response?
The response. Okay, you don't want to participate in my overexcitement. Fine about CZ, but part of me, and let me know if you feel the same. Part of me feels
I haven't felt the same so far in the beginning of this show. We've been at odds.
Part of me. Can we bring magic?
I'm on Zcash.
Is
You're on
Magic ready,
CZ Profit.
Can we bring magic on? Just bring a black box.
Cali CPS says CZ over Zcash.
No, he says.
But you see, if you move the Z before the C in cash,
all right. So
it's
listen,
CZ
what I'm trying to
cash.
say here is, when a lot of people are expecting something, usually the opposite happens, right? And so a lot of people are expecting Q4 in October to be a massive rally. What are the odds that we don't get that massive rally? What are the odds? Hold on. What are the odds that October, November are very dull and 2026, the first quarter, ends up being like Q4 of this year? What are your thoughts on that?
There's two ways of looking at this, okay? There's one is, as you mentioned, when the masses think that certain thing is going to happen, a lot of times the markets will move against them and profit off of it, right? We see it time and time again in all markets. And we could easily point to the bull market here and say, hey, 4-year cycle, everyone is counting on Bitcoin to go parabolic. And well, the top of the market's actually, if you were to follow the 4-year cycle, is supposed to fall sometime within the next 2 months. And so one could expect that, the markets would go crazy and top out there, but it seems like we're too far away from a top. I do believe that Bitcoin will get to that $250,000, maybe even $500,000 price valuation. However, that's not going to happen in the next 2 months. Even though I'm bullish on Bitcoin, it's not going to cross $200,000, not by November. I guess it could, but not very likely. So what I think is going to happen is you're not going to follow the 4-year cycle. But people are so bent on this idea that you're going to get parabolic run every 4 years on this day. It's coming. People are going to front run it. It's not going to happen. But at the same time, you can't deny facts and mathematics. So if you were to say, hey, the U.S. is going to keep printing money, there's going to be inflation, there's just monetary policies that are not in favor of the dollar, right? If that's the case, if that's the situation, then you know for a certainty that the S&P 500 is going to keep going up. You know that the price of homes are going to keep going up. You know the price of Bitcoin is going to keep going up. So there's two sides of the story here, right? One, the markets are going to front run narratives like 4-year cycle and going to say like, hey, that's not going to be valid every single time. And I don't think this time is going to be valid. And on the other hand, you just got inflation and dumbass monetary policy that's just turning your cash literally worth less every year. And which side wins? Well, there's the certain side. I just don't know the timing. I'm telling you, the next 2 months is going to be crazy, but I don't think it's going to be blow off top, cycle over kind of crazy. And I do think that this bull market stretches way out into 2026, if not 2027. I think you get some fake outs, some pullbacks. Why you got the weird look? You don't think we're going to stretch out to 27?
Huh?
What is the top for Bitcoin? Price-wise, what is the number?
No idea.
Give me, if you had to like take an educated guess, where's your vibe?
288,000.
288,000. Does that happen by the end of the year?
2026.
Okay, it happens in 2026. The first 2 months of 2026?
No.
Okay. So how is 2027 that far off?
We're talking an 8-month difference here.
Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is that more than likely the top to Bitcoin at a $300,000, we're going to round up around that range, will more than likely come on the latter half of next year. Okay. And I don't think that is going to sell off and crash 70%. So I think the bull market is going to continue. I think that Bitcoin doesn't collapse. Now, perhaps it's a different story for altcoins. Maybe Bitcoin gets to 300,000 and pulls back to 220, and then all the alts sell off, and then you have a little bear market in the altcoin sector. Maybe that happens.
You think 70% Bitcoin corrections are over? Never again?
Yep.
Me too.
However,
just stop there.
If we're doing a show and we're talking, hey, Bitcoin's at $775,000, then the answer to that changes.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. Price has nothing.
For however high something goes up, you could tell me the same thing about like Tesla, like during COVID. Like, my God, like this is a foundation, like #1 selling car in the U.S., #1 selling electric vehicle. You can sit here and tell me all about it, and then be like, it just can't. It went up. It can't collapse. Like, bro, it doesn't matter if a price of something goes up parabolically way too fast, it'll come crashing down. Did Tesla crash 70%? Not quite that much. However, it was pretty close.
Not even close to that.
What was the percentage from top to trough?
Tesla had stock splits, so people look at price went from 1,000 to 200.
Pull up the market cap. Oh boy,
it's gonna take me a while to find it. Anyways, yeah. I don't think it ever went.
It was at the stock itself. I remember it got up to like $260, and then it dropped down to like 100 something. I don't know if that equated to a 70% pullback, but it was pretty significant. So,
check it some real quick.
Yeah, I just don't.
Anyways,
it's how markets. If you get giant green candles, you're gonna get pullbacks. It's just how it is, bro.
Anyways,
so you're telling me you can get a giant green candle and not have a big pullback?
70% is massive. That's not happening. What is happening is me giving a big thanks to our sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Revolution Mining. If you're looking to mine some Bitcoin and you don't have the billions of dollars, hi, look, it's Rob and David split. It's pretty cool, right? Wait, which way? I gotta go this way. If you're looking to mine some Bitcoin and you don't have the billions of dollars or all the acreage that the likes of Riot and Marathon have, well, you can buy the bundles over at Revolution. You get miners at cost. They also host and power for you at a ultra low rate of 0.052 kilowatts per hour. And then also, they share the Bitcoin with you, 50-50 split. They handle all the maintenance, all the monitoring, and everything else. So you are pretty much hands off. And so these guys are great. I've spoke to them personally. They're out in Texas. They're on the they're partnering with ERCOT. And so they're expanding. If you want more information, there's a link in the description. There's a video you're seeing on your screen is some of their facilities and what they have there. They're actually redoing some of their facilities out in Texas. And so we love Revolution Mining. They're a channel partner, and big thanks to them. If you want more info, links in the description of the video. I want to bring on my friend Magic. Thank God. Voice of reason. Hi, Magic.
What's going on, guys?
How are you?
I was just listening to you guys bicker backstage. I was enjoying it.
You don't have to top of your head if, minus obviously the stock splits, if Tesla's had 70 to 80% corrections.
I don't know off the top of my head, to be honest.
Okay. All right. I don't think they have. Someone in the chat, fact check me on this, okay? Someone in the chat, fact check me. And Magic, I guess before we dig into the charts, I'm curious to get your take on this. Shout out to my friend Dixie Flatline. They hosted me on a Twitter Spaces yesterday, and I kind of brought up the idea that not seeing 70% drawbacks anymore in Bitcoin in the bull market.
Gina, can you pull up my laptop real quick?
Way to cut me off.
All right, here we go. We got Tesla. You asked Magic. Tesla dropped from 2021 high of $409.97 to a low of $212.11, which was a 73.6% drop.
What was the month, Robin?
Huh?
What was the month that it happened? What month did the drop happen?
It happened in, I don't know. On January 3rd, 2023, it was as low as $108. And so
2021, right?
So November 4th of 2021, it hit a high of $409.97. And then on that same year, the low was $212.11.
Yeah, you know Tesla had stock splits in 2021?
Okay.
Multiple. They've had a lot of stock splits. But anyways, thanks for completely I was talking about something.
You asked Magic, so he said he doesn't know.
No, and I
told
the chat,
I immediately brought it up afterwards.
You're not the chat. You're the annoying host. I asked the chat to fact check me, not interrupt me in the middle of me saying something. Anyways. So Magic, I was on a Twitter Spaces yesterday, and I brought up the idea of not seeing 70% pullbacks anymore due to the fact that the new age investors, the Wall Street, the institutions, they've identified, those who have Bitcoin have identified it as an asset they want exposure to, and seeing it dip 20%, they're not going to run for the exodus like retail is and say, oh my God, it's a scam because it went down 20%. They'll look at it as a buying opportunity. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that we shouldn't write it off altogether, but I do think that the corrections are going to become less and less, just like the volatility to the upside is as well. So it goes both ways in that regard. So would we ever see a 70%? I think we still could, but that's going to be a really big area of value, in my opinion.
Awesome.
If it occurs.
Okay. Magic, with that being said, let's take a peek at a Bitcoin chart. Was that I don't know if I should call it a bull trap, but was that a rally for the week? Is this like, I know we hit that 114.5. It's a pretty decent, I think, resistance level. We're seeing a little bit of a pullback. What's your gauge on where Bitcoin's headed to next, Magic? Is there some key levels? I would assume like 110.7 would be very important to hold. What are you seeing on that chart?
Yeah, so for me, it's pretty simple. This is the EQ of this past quarter right here at the gold pocket, but we talked about looking at things through the lens of deviations last time, and I think we used our 6-month deviations that we've continued to reference here, the +2 at 114,695, saying above here, I do get fairly bullish, actually. But for now, you are wedged between there and some important support around 112. And the reason 112 is important is I'll get rid of the 3-month data here and the deviations is when we look at things through the lens of an inside bar, meaning that going into next month, we should be looking at things like so. And I'm going to get rid of all this stuff because it just needs to go. We don't see a lot of candles where we don't take the high or the low, right? We've talked about that before. And on a monthly schedule, it's even more rare than a weekly. So we took the low barely here, no inside bar. The most important area you want to be paying attention to in bias of a new monthly low or high for the upcoming month, I guess, it's not quite here. It'll be here in a few hours, is going to be the EQ of this current candle. And so if we were to look at that and just kind of gauge where we are, I went ahead and marked it off. So it's just easy for everyone to see that this is the low right here that came in on the very first day of September, taking the August low by just a little bit, making a high. And then you can see we're sitting right on the equilibrium of that month. It actually pairs up really, really nicely with the equilibrium of the last week. So given that our weekly low is going to be down here, our previous month low will be here as well going into next month. We really want to hang on to like that 112 region. So it's a big area for me to kind of gauge whether or not I'm expecting new lows to come, or if I'm expecting this to try to push and make a new monthly high, which puts us back up above about 118 grand. So above 112 for me is really important. But if we start losing 112, I do start looking at this low down here right around 107, 205 as being pretty key. And you are correct that there is support here around like 110. But, folding back over like this wouldn't look all that good to me. And I would expect to probably make that new low and head into going back to those deviations that we just had on our screen, looking at like 105, which would be right here. You can see we are rejecting from the +2. So
also, Magic, that would be looks like that would be a pretty big head and shoulders pattern on the daily time frame too.
It wouldn't look good, but we've made the comments that bottoms never look good in terms of at least chart prices. So it is what it is there. But yeah, certainly some worry below this level. If you start living below 105. You really are kind of diving into the, hey, is this a correction, or do we need to like start looking at a bias change? Because right now my line in the sand is around this 97 to 100K area.
So if we're living under 105, we'll soon thereafter be living under a bridge, is what you're saying, essentially, as our portfolios will have bled to death.
Potentially, I don't know about 70%, but yeah, we might see some, some people switch up pretty quick.
Yeah. Magic, I don't know if you caught this part of the conversation before you came on, but I brought up the fact that everyone is expecting a massive Q4, October, November. What's the likelihood, in your opinion, that we don't get that massive Q4, and maybe maybe it never comes, maybe it comes in 2026, or do you think it's par for course that we're going to get that big run in October, November?
I wouldn't say it's par for course. I think that if we're going off the standard 4-year cycle, we are going to get it. I think that date's sometime in, is it October or November?
October, November, usually.
Yeah. So, it's typically a seasonality thing, and it is bullish. And, everybody forgets that when you look at a monthly candle, and I say this because we're talking specifically about October, when we're looking at a candle, it's not just always where there is no downside, like right here in October. You will have Octobers with drawdown. So yeah, I think if we open up on a correction, people, they're just going to have to be okay with it if they want to remain bullish and know where things really structurally change. And to me, things really structurally change right around that 100K zone. So if it pulled back, I would look at it opportunistically, because that's the trend. And seasonality is still there, so I give the bulls a bit of an edge. But I would be cautious if it's more than just a drawdown to start the month.
Awesome. Magic, there's, Cybos is happening right now in Frankfurt. It's the culmination, and the, everyone from the banking world and, some from the crypto world are there. Big announcements have been made by Swift, the DTCC. And, we're going to talk about XRP in a little bit here, Rob and I, but from a chart standpoint, what are you seeing on the XRP chart? It had that massive rally from 50 cents, got up to almost $4. It's kind of been chopping sideways. What are you seeing on the XRP chart?
Yeah, so XRP, it's hit some pretty big targets for us. Let me pull up the chart that I want. I think I had AVAX geared up, mainly because I didn't know where that chart was. Oh, we can definitely get rid of this. Yeah, we'll just hide that. So looking at XRP just as a blank chart at the moment, I'm gonna get rid of everything on here. You've got a pretty clear, obvious support here right around 276 that if lost, we can start really kind of honing in on where we're gonna be looking to. Now, when you look at the chart of XRP, I do think it's important to map out the most important areas on the chart, which for me is going to be somewhere in this region right here of $1.97. That's your prior high here that was coming in last cycle. And then the SEC thing happened, and this was all manipulation according to everyone else, right? So we failed to close a monthly, and I think we've closed a weekly just beneath it, but didn't really hold. So $1.97 is kind of like that key support that we need to be aware of. And when we start looking at this, there's certainly structures here that are kind of, I wouldn't say they're eye-raising by any means, but you've got some kind of an expansion that's taken place here. So I believe it would be something like this. If you were just looking at it, you can see that you've got some very clear structure that's come in, and you've seen expansion. And it would be very close to something like a butterfly-esque. So you're realistically looking at this as a B-leg point. So just looking at the chart structurally, this would be the first area that I'd be interested in at 265. And you can see it as a flat level of support. So if we break it, we need to know what our target's going to be. And to me, that's a very simple gold pocket. And that is where I'd be looking at. And I'm going to get out a log for that because we're going to be talking linearly. So it's just beneath this structure. And now we need to see if there's anything else that lines up there, because realistically, I don't want to revisit 197. So if I'm an active trader that's bullish on this asset, I want to keep it somewhere on a higher low basis. And I really don't want to just be rolling back over into this support again. I think we've kind of worn out our welcome a little bit. So we're closing the quarter today, and the monthly, as always, you want to look at both of those. You can see that you've got, man, we've spent a lot of time up here, haven't we? Wow. These are quarterly volume profiles. So you can see we went 1, 2, this will be the third. So that is a full 3/4 of a year plus some that we've spent above $1.97, always good. So that tells us and validates that if $1.97 is lost, we should probably be shifting gears on like what we think about this asset, at least in terms of the near future. So we do want to hold on to that. So if we're looking for opportunities, you can see it's the value area high in the previous quarter's point of control coming in at about 239. And then we need to be looking at things like, where is my monthly pivot? It's well above us, but where's my quarterly? For average, it's a little bit beneath us. And then we have one left to really look at, and that's the 6 month, because that's still valid for the next 3 months as well. And that is your highest time frame average that generally we would look to. So you've already met it by going through it, but coming back on a back test at the gold pocket, at this value area high, at this point of control, this to me is probably the most logical area to start looking for some type of a trade for XRP if I want to see a higher low. If it extends down into this 197 region, I would just be careful, because if you begin losing this zone of support on like a weekly and monthly basis, it does open the door up for expansion to the downside. And I think that your targets of like $1.04 at that point do become almost relevant. So hanging on to $2, I guess, is really key. And I'd be looking somewhere between what was that, 240 and was it 235 if I was interested in another trade on this as far as a long. Yeah, 232 up to 241 on XRP. There's enough there for me to at least mark the area and gauge a reaction to take a trade.
Beautiful. Magic, I'd like to share, yesterday we were on stream and Rob wanted me to take a Bitcoin or a AVAX long. I said, nope, we're doing the opposite. And well, we cashed in 80%. The trade went so good, I decided to put in another short. And it's also in the profit. Obviously, part of it's a joke. But, I kind of had a feeling the markets are going to roll over. I'm still in this bit tensor long, but that's, to me, I feel fairly confident where my liquidation point is. But anyways, AVAX, it was on a big run. Got up to like $35. It's cooled off since then. What is what's the most important support level, Magic, that AVAX needs to hold above to maintain its, I guess, bull trend?
Sure. Right out the gate, you took a good short because you were rejecting off of the 2025 open, always an important level to have the yearly open up. And if you go out to the 3 month, you can see this is also what we call a quarterly level, where you can see you've got two horizontal, opens and closures, kind of just justifying that anything above here is trap traders. So they're going to defend the opens on these pretty consistently. So you've seen a rejection. The quarterly SFP at 27.24 was previously the most important level of resistance, and one would think that it would be pretty important support. It is relevant for now just because the quarter isn't closed yet, but that changes again in just a few hours. So I would imagine we're going to close above 27.24 going into next quarter, which is a good sign. But just like the monthly candle, you do sometimes get drawdown even on positive candles. So looking at this through the lens of how I like to see things, it's usually through SFPs. You've got two that you could mark off right here. You can mark this level and you can mark this level. This secondary level that I marked here is that 2308? Yeah, 2308 would be the one of most interest to me, mainly because you hadn't closed a monthly candle above this level for quite some time, and then you did here. You back tested it, held it as support. So 27.24, while important, I don't think is the most important level on the chart. I would start really looking at 2308. And as always, the cliche fibs are going to be gold pocket, and linear right there. So yeah, I'd be looking at 2308 down to 2219 kind of as that key area, because if you lose this, you're probably revisiting your SFP of the low here, and that is coming all the way down at 1729, and that's quite a dip. So most important level, just at a glance, is going to be that 2308 level for me. I would be willing to trade that at the gold pocket, probably, to be quite upfront with you. I don't know what the volume profiles are looking like on this, but let's see. Yeah, right on point with the point of control. That's always a good sign. A lot of volume that's done here. So if this were to come down into this region at the close of the month for next month, yeah, I'd be willing to trade that.
Let's go. Magic, before I let you go, I want to ask, is there a trade setup you're eyeing that you want to maybe share with people that is either there or is almost there that you kind of have on your radar? You want to give out some free alpha here?
Sure. Let's talk about Ethereum a little bit.
Oh.
So ETH was one, as you guys know, I've been saying that I really was only interested in ETH back in this like little box here, which was the trend-based gold pocket on the macro time frame and the local gold pocket. I did take this trade. I think my entry was like 38.60, so really good entry. I have since locked in take profit one just in case. Main reason being is if we do lose the support area here right around 3,800 bucks, I think you could see a further dip into like 3501. That would be the next area of interest, and I think actually it's more visible on a weekly time frame. Yeah, and you can see this is basically going to knock everyone in that's been buying up here above right around $4,000, and you've still got structure in terms of higher lows. Like you kind of haven't confirmed the full top yet, where this is now a more of a macro top, and we should be looking much lower. So the most important place to me is going to be here, and that also would be taking out this weekly low. So to me, I'd be looking a little bit lower on Ethereum if it reaches there, right around 3501. And if it does, I would be interested still in picking up some Ethereum. I think the other confluence with that was, again, a fib, and I'll get rid of some of this stuff on here because I know it's getting a little messy here, but just from the C point to the current high, it's also your 382, which is a golden fib as well, just like the gold pocket. So it's just the inverse. So yeah, I'd be looking at about 35.92 down to 35.01 with some interest if reached.
Beautiful. Magic, it is always a pleasure to have you on here, my friend. Anything, I know you don't shill anything, but anything you'd like people to know? Or we got your Discord link pinned to the top of the chat.
I don't really know if there's anything I want you guys to know. I'm going to get off here. There is a taco truck in my town of 4,000 people that has stopped in for the day, so I'm going to go smash like 6 to 10 tacos.
What kind of tacos?
And that's whatever they put on them. I'm not picky. I assume it's just ground beef, but if they've got anything of variety, I'll find out.
Man.
I'll try
you
one.
You got to
each.
get the carne asada. You got to get the, what is that called? The pork one? Adobado.
I think this is pretty whitewashed Mexican.
The Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. It's a pretty whitewashed taco truck from what I can tell. So I think it's a white people taco night type of thing.
Kansas, yeah. You got to come to Vegas, man. We'll take you to the best taco place up in here, bro. Magic, we love you, brother. Thank you so much for your time. As always, amazing insight and TA. And guys, if you want more Magic, go join his Discord, please. Thank you. Magic, see you next week.
See ya.
Take care. All right. Shout out to George. Cryptos are us. Trying to beat him in some Clash Royale here soon. It's going to be fun. George, we should do a side bet if I beat you. I don't got as much money as you, but we can do something. We can do something. Pair of shoes, I don't know. All right. Let's talk about XRP. You know, I saw a comment in the chat from Forerunner said something about we were bullish on XRP. Now we've turned, just wait till the convo's over. Okay. What I express in the thumbnail and the title doesn't necessarily mean it's what I think. I'm just sharing a point of view, and I'm going to give my opinion. So here we go. Sibos is going on. It's the world's largest financial meeting of the minds, the future. What are they doing? All the biggest banks are there. All the biggest institutions are there. And I'm not saying Ripple is not. Actually, I don't know. Is Ripple there? I'm not sure. Can someone find out if Ripple's at Sibos? They probably are. You got Chainlink is there, XDC is there. There's a few other crypto projects that are there, but it's mostly legacy finance, okay? So a lot of people have pointed to the lack of big announcements and partnerships and integrations with XRP and the XRP ledger as XRP becoming a failure. And the reason they give for that is, well, the XRP's whole shtick has been cross-border payments. Well, they're doing cross-border payments. They're looking to expand and actually bring it into the new age of blockchain. But we're not hearing of any partnerships with Ripple and with XRP at Sibos. Okay, I'm not saying that it's not happening outside of Sibos. I'm specifically saying the Sibos. So the question then becomes, well, are they right? Is it a failure? Chainlink's getting all the big partnerships and the announcements. XRP isn't getting any at Sibos. I keep having to say that so people don't take things out of context. So this is posted by Pumpius. When Swift announced a blockchain prototype with consensus, remember, a lot of people were expecting it to be something with XRP, but they went with consensus. Doesn't even have their own token. And so by proxy, I guess you can say it benefits ETH the most. And he kind of just breaks down like, hey, you know, the benefits and the differences of XRPL versus ETH, the partnership, how the Swift partnering with consensus is just a Band-Aid fix, and how XRPL is enterprise grade. You got some on one side saying, well, then if that's the case, why aren't they being picked? If it's so obvious, why do they keep going with the slower, the more expensive, the clunkier L1? So that's a question that people have to answer. So, Rob, I want to just ask you point blank, with what we're seeing at Sibos, with everyone literally there, Swift, the DTCC, Euroclear, all the largest payment processors in the world, with no announcements of any partnerships or integrations with XRP, does that mean to you that XRP's bid to be that blockchain, to be that cross-border payment solution is now officially a failure?
A failure?
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday I had about a 6-minute kind of just thoughts on the fact that people dismissing Ripple and XRP.
No, your whole thing was there's not a one winner take all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying because Chainlink here is making splash in headlines as Sibos, is XRP a failure? That's literally what you said. Because of this event, is it a failure? To echo exactly what I said yesterday, it's not a one winner take all.
Is it a failure of what they were looking to do?
What were they looking to do? They didn't advertise that they were gonna like crush the world as Sibos.
So their whole thing is
everything is mute to this point because they didn't pull up to Sibos.
No, I'm just saying, this is not my position. I'm taking the position that you're taking or suggesting or alluding to. It's a position of certain people. It's why is it dumb? It's ignorant. Why is it ignorant?
Because it's like, if you don't win as a single battle means you lost every single war. It's like guys, just because somebody tells you Ethereum is better than Cardano, don't like rip your hair out and then try to fight the person. Because someone tells you, hey, Chainlink is here at this conference, it's not like, why are y'all like up? And the reason I'm like frustrated is because I look at our accounts, I have all these Twitter feeds, and it's frustrating, bro. It's genuinely frustrating. I'm just like, why are y'all like selling? Like, y'all are like little children. Like, no, wait, this guy took my like, calm the hell down, bro. Do you believe in the tech? Are they going to build in the future? Are they going to expand and make partnerships? The answer is yes, then you're good. If they're on the way down and the partnerships are dwindling and they're not relevant and people aren't using it, then at that point, maybe it's time to sell or maybe it's time to get out. But to look at like one little headline and just and pivot is stupid. If you pivot on big headlines and you decide to buy because of one big headline, you're the dumb money. You're going to come in and get shitted on. Because once you like start buying the big green candles, like you know how it is every time, bro. When you see the headline over and over again, this token's so hot, man. Oh my God, it's going to change the world. It came out of nowhere. You're too late. What happens when you buy it?
You're too late.
Every single time.
I saw this in the Twitter space yesterday. When you see it all over social media by everyone, it's too late.
So at its core, what you just need to remember is it something that's going to be around for a while? Is it going to be a lot bigger as far as its vision and its utility and what it does and its adoption? Will it be further along now than it is, or further along in the future than it is now? Then it's a great investment. Who cares about headlines in the meantime? You know, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but like we can go back to the Tesla stock. Like if it was hot at one point, like this is outside of crypto. I'm just saying that's how it is. Something be hot and trendy, and then it can just fall off. And if you just sell and exit, and you just take that big ass L, when it comes back, you're gonna look like a fool. Don't do that with XRP, bro. It's not going anywhere. Now, maybe 5 years from now, maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now, maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I'll be like, hey, you know what? It's been 3 years. There hasn't been a lot of development. They're outpaced by this blockchain and this company, and it just ain't looking good. That's a whole different conversation. But don't forget, XRP, the price alone went from 50 cents to $3 just in the last, 12 months. And that was in a quick move last year. It's got more quick moves. It's I don't know, dude.
My stance is not that of those people who say that XRP is a failure. I think there's a lot more to XRP. If you look at RLUSD, they're getting tons of adoption. If you look at XRPL with RWAs, market share is growing. And so I don't think it's a failure. And I think to Rob's point, I don't think it was ever going to be a one network, one protocol, one dApp is going to do everything. I think it's going to be a collaborative approach. So yeah, I mean, I don't.
We'll have the same conversations about Chainlink in like 6 months.
I doubt that.
No, in 6 months or 2 years, something else, some other Oracle service or some other interconnected blockchain will get headlines, and then we'll be sitting here like, what does this mean for Chainlink? What does this mean for Chainlink? And it's going to be an overreaction that somebody else took a spotlight from Chainlink for a few months.
I think
so. You don't think that nobody's going to take a spotlight from Chainlink moving forward ever again?
And what they're doing, no, because when you look at, well, just use
never
logic.
happens, bro. Like you
Use
can't
common
have
sense.
the spotlight forever.
How long?
Nvidia ain't gonna have the spotlight forever. iPhone ain't gonna have a spotlight forever. Apple ain't gonna have the spotlight forever. Like if you think that you'll never, ever
You
not
said
lose
in
a
2
spotlight.
years.
I said 6 months, 2 years. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not happening in 6 months, 2 years. In 20 years, maybe.
Bro,
Okay.
Nobody was even talking about Chainlink.
How long has Chainlink been working with Swift for?
Okay.
No, answer that question. How long has... No. Just answer the question before you make yourself sound stupider than you are. How long has Chainlink been working with Swift for?
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Did
Now, let me ask you-
anybody care? Was there any big headlines? Okay, all of a sudden, people are talking about Chainlink. Up until
it's actually happening.
Yeah.
It's not in planning phase,
So-
it's in rollout phase. So of course people are talking about it.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, it's been how long has Chainlink been around? Since 2018, and they've been around. No, you know what? They had a bigger price accumulation, and then it was a snooze fest for a long time, and people just weren't talking about Chainlink. It wasn't this giant savior that it is, and then it came out of nowhere, and people are talking about it. Just like other big companies come out of nowhere.
You're missing the tree for the hills, or whatever the fuck that saying is. When Swift, DTCC, and Euroclear are moving into the next era of payments, they've spent all this time and money and resources, and they're working with Chainlink. I'm sorry, but in a year and a half, if everything is going as planned, they're not going to be like, scrap all that, we're going with this one.
I'm not saying they are.
What's your argument?
What I'm saying is that at some point there will be a headline.
20 years from now.
No. Within the next
There might be a new project that launches, and people are like, it's going to be a Chainlink killer.
Bro.
No, it has zero chance because Chainlink is deeply integrated with these.
We could have had the same conversation about Ethereum, and now it's getting.
You had that conversation with Ethereum. Has anyone replaced Ethereum? No, so you've been wrong.
No one's replaced
Who
Ethereum.
the fuck has replaced Ethereum? Has anyone replaced Ethereum?
You're right, bro. All transactions are done on Ethereum.
Who has replaced Ethereum?
ETH is king, bro. Nobody uses anything but ETH now. Like, get out of here, bro. They lost so much market share, And all I'm saying is that at some point in time, in the next 2 years, there will be some large headline that people are like, hey, I thought Chainlink was supposed to do this. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying Chainlink is going to sell off. I'm not saying that Chainlink is crap. I'm not saying that their roadmap is pretending. I'm just saying that at some point, there's going to be some big-ass headline that comes out, and we're going to be like, what's this mean for Chainlink? And people are going to overreact. That's all I'm saying. And the fact that you don't think that the spotlight can ever fall off of Chainlink again, or at least, excuse me, in the next 2 years, there can't be any negative precedent against Chainlink because they're the Messiah and God and the Moses came back, the second crossing of Jesus Christ. Like he just came back and he reincarnated into Chainlink. And there's no way that like you can say anything negative about Chainlink, bro. Like get over it. Like they came out of nowhere and now they're super hot. At some point, people
out of nowhere. First of all,
the community getting behind it, the euphoria, yes. And by the way, pull my laptop, pull my computer. Stock price adjustment is included in the 74% drop in Tesla. And just in case you're wondering,
you're still on that, huh?
In case you are
what would you
wondering,
do about ChatGPT, Rob?
Look,
not much.
Stock chart services like TradingView always show split adjusted prices. So, in case you're wondering, you did get a 74% drop at a Tesla. And if Bitcoin does rally to the moon in a short period of time, it will correct 70%.
Shih Tzu breeding purpose? Why you got Shih Tzu breeding purpose in there? What's that?
Wow, she's put you on blast.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yo ass got put on blast, fool.
All kinds of fun stuff in here.
Oh my God.
I'm doing a trading show by myself. Thank the Jesus Lord himself. So if you want some TA, come join me. Okay, interesting video here by Tristan Thompson, who's now working with World Mobile Token. And listen to what he said. Now, if you're not familiar, this gentleman played with LeBron James, won a championship in Cleveland, is pretty well known, dated a Kardashian. Hey. Don't know why I said that, but listen to what he said.
Teammates have started noticing they ask questions now, and guys are like, you know, like, do I get more XRP? Do I buy more ETH? So like, literally, guys are texting me, and then like in a group chat saying like, yo, it's pumping. Yeah, go should I do? I'm like, hold it, long term, guys. Think long. The same way you bet on yourself to get to the NBA, you got to bet on these coins and bet on the space. Bet on what the future of digital finance is. Bet on that's what's gonna be. Our kids, that's the form of it. They're not going to be walking into these banks and these institutions. They're going to be literally having their wallets and being on a computer and literally managing their finance like this.
Who was that NFL player that? Oh, that was Kevin Durant. He bought Bitcoin in 2015, couldn't get into his Coinbase account, and then finally got in, and he's sitting on a ton of money. Pretty funny. Okay, let's talk about Virtuals Protocol. So new update. Long, short, and farm agents all live on Virtuals. Agent is building go long and agents you trust. You see founders soft drugging, short them to zero. Strong fundamentals, provide agent tokens to earn and farm daily. You can now leverage trade. You can margin trade your agents. Take a look at this.
Margin trading.
So I'm going to kill the music just in case. So I'll show you guys what the platform looks like on web browser. But it just follows a trend of derivatives and leverage trading, perpetual futures trading, essentially. It's not available on all of the Virtuals agents. I believe there's a total of 8 available, but they're adding more utility to what you can do with the agents in terms of just what you can do with the agents and also with price action. Here's what it looks like on the browser. So when you go in here, it'll be automatically on spot. You can buy and sell the Virtuals agents as you normally would. And then you can also click margin and you can go in here. You can long or short a certain agent with USDC up to 3x leverage. And again, it's not available on all of the Virtuals agents, but it's available on quite a lot of them, including Luna. Which this chart looks very, very ugly. I mean, this is a pretty ugly ass chart right here. It was as high as around 25 cents. It's currently at 2 zeros and a 9. This is, this is price, not market cap. And so they've pivoted again. They're getting rid of Genesis. And this is, I guess this is the direction they thought would bring value to the ecosystem and to the virtuals holders. I still hold a significant amount of virtuals protocol. I did take some profits on the way up, took some profits on the way down, but I still have a pretty decent position on virtuals. We made some good money there with our community and some of the agents that we ended up minting. So if you're in the virtuals ecosystem and you're looking to maybe get some new ways to make money or to long or short some of these agents, you can do so now on the project or on the website. And I believe you can do it through the mobile app as well. All right, that'll do it for the show today. Come join me in about 5 minutes. I'll be going live right here on this channel, looking for some trade setups. Bitcoin is slightly recovering. It's at 113.4. I had to close out of that AVAX trade for a loss of like 20%. The AVAX short trade that we made. That one was a bullshit trade. It was more to piss Robin off. But anyways, that'll do it for the show today. Gino, roll the outro. Thank you all very much. We appreciate all of you. Make sure you step to the channel. We did a Cardano video yesterday. Go watch it. And then come stay here. You'll be redirected to the trading show. Love you guys. See you in 5 minutes. Bye.
Sin City, crypto. Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Whoa.